Okay, so this is a video for Coach Neighbors. Coach, what's up? I did shoot another video, right? I put it on YouTube, and apparently Coach or nobody else could see it or nobody saw it. So I will shoot another one in a winter wonderland here. So here's my positive review for Coach. I can't stress enough that going through lawyers is absolutely pointless, and that's one thing that's one big thing that Coach has really dead to rights. I think I said in my last video, speaking to these lawyers is like you feel like hope's being drained out of you because you have the feeling like they're taking advantage of you. And I spoke with a couple. I have an issue going. My next door neighbor has told some really nasty lies about me because she's afraid of her parents, I guess, in more ways than one. And those lies are they're libelous. And she started a rumor on the street. I defended against it, and she freaked out and filed a restraining order against me, no trespass, you name it. But they're all lies. They're all lies. And the biggest problem is these lies have been complemented by this state statute, which this judge threw me under the bus, violated my rights, my due process, First Amendment, you name it. And so I already had something in mind that I looked at that Coach had sent me along with the real estate deed fraud package that he had, which is great, and I still have to do. I still need to do that. But for people, especially if you're losing your house or you want to get your deed out of the registers, go to Coach. Do not go to lawyers because, like I said, the one lawyer I talked to, or maybe two actually, bad, dude. Like, they want nothing to do with it, and they're just tell you, throw your shit out in the yard, like Coach is saying. That's what they basically, I mean, they didn't know in certain words in the way they're describing it. So they're no good. They're no good. And so back to what I was saying. So I think her was Judge Kristoff or whatever, and also Judge Kopecki, but I saw the package, and I wanted to see if some of the things that I had going on with this judge. His name is William E. Rooney, and he's out of Holyoke, Mass. But he is a douchebag, and he threw me under the bus big time. He used this state statute, which studying Coach's stuff, I figured out is not a valid law, right? And he basically shoveled my shit as far under as you could go for a whole year using this non-valid law against me. And so I used one of the packages that Coach sent me, and I was like, oh man, dude. Like, it's funny because I thought, I'm not probably, this is something fodder for maybe, but I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, so see what lines up, see what I can use. And one thing after another lined up with what this crooked judge basically threw my way. And that was, I think it's a section 636. He didn't get signed consent from any of the parties. He wasn't registered. He's not registered. I've looked all around. He wasn't registered with FARA, I think, Foreign Registration Act, right? Which is a violation of federal law, and et cetera, et cetera. He used this state statute to basically compound or legitimize my neighbor's defamatory statements that she made against me that were egregious and just really nasty. Completely uncalled for, but she did it. She did what she thought she had to do, lied in front of the judge, and but that wasn't the problem. The judge just had a responsibility to make sure my due process, nothing had been proven, nothing was in plain sight, right? Everything was obscured, and he just took that obscurity and made it a reality, right? So anyways, I'm a big problem. So I'm using Coach's thing, Kopecki, which is like, I'm like, oh dude, so like really cutting my work and not even better than half, like less, right? I just got to figure out what applies to my situation. That was in, I think it was Tammy, yeah, Tammy was the one who's getting thrown under the bus by this other judge, and she's filing $100 million, was it $100 million lawsuit? I don't know, I need to go back and rewatch, but anyway, so let me just stay focused. Like, so my thing to people out there, you're struggling or whatever, and you need some kind of help. Don't go to the lawyers. If you find Guy or Coach Neighbors, you have found the right guy. You're in the right place. You need to go no further, right? Because there's nobody out there. I've looked high and low, and the best place to start with is start to research his packages in winningcourt.com and see what could apply to you, right? I love this guy. I think Coach Neighbors is a miracle guy, right? And yeah, I can't say enough good things about him. I give him 100% A+. I know he says that, he may be saying like he's done boxing and football, but hey, my Uncle Wayne was a coach in football, so I know. But anyways, but I think some of his stuff is just really beyond the box. It's way beyond the box, and it totally really, and like just to give you an example. Now, although I felt a little inflated, I was a little nervous, but when I brought my stuff into the clerk's office, denied twice. And I looked at the state statutes, and they're in line. The shit that I took is in line with the state statutes. And these fucking clerks don't care. They're nasty. They are nasty. Clerks are freaking nasty, man. This clerk, man, these clerks ganged up, right? Yeah, this clerk's hiding me. And he stopped one of the green, the Belchertown one I went to. Oh my God, dude, they are freaking out. This is on a paper. This is a paper. I haven't even said a couple words. They looked at his paper and they're freaking out. This guy, basically, his face bright red. He didn't even bother to push the paper back through the window there. He left it on his side, so I had to sneak my hand underneath. But basically, he's basically saying, next step is we're going to remove you, right? That's how threatened he is by this piece of paper, right? So that's how I knew, like, dude, people don't get defensive like that unless you are really in their line. Like, they should not be afraid of me like that, right? If you fear me like that, Houston, you got the problem, right? But it really told me something. Like, I really hit a note when I used that material. I hit a huge note, both and also with the one in Northampton. Just blown away. And she would not, and like, they don't want to take it. Oh, I'm going to take it. I don't touch that. Right? So afraid. Like, fucking out of their minds afraid. Right? So, I mean, I have to get it pushed through order to, because I gather what Coach is saying is once I get, maybe I don't have 100% right. Maybe he can still reside over, because this is not recusing the judge that I know of. But once you put the judge on to your side of the, you add him as a defendant or whatever in your case, he can no longer litigate against you. You're locking him up. Now he's in the same boat with you, right? Or maybe in a different boat than you because you're the one who's pushing the envelope on them. That's really what I'm doing with this Judge Rooney. I'm pushing the envelope using Coach's stuff. So I love this guy. I am so glad. I almost didn't go with him just because, again, like I said, the fear is really, once you start, you hear him, and the fear is what kicks in. That's really, I think, Coach's Neighbor's biggest obstacle to getting more, individuals involved in what he's doing is because of the fear, right? People are afraid. But if you start eliminating that, I think that's what he's good at. He's good at eliminating that, because when he starts to talk to you and you start to watch his videos and you start to understand, I don't have anything to be afraid of, dude, right? They have more to be afraid of than I do, because they're violating my rights. They're violating federal laws, and all this manufactured stuff they're using is really what puts their shit in the eye of the storm once it gets to a valid official or whatever, what they're supposed to be, right? Because really, when you go down to the bottom of it, the stuff that he's using really has the capability of shutting down the system, man. You really could do it. You know, like this is how the way this is what the Constitution says, and if you're not doing it like that, then you're violating not only your sworn oath, like a judge violating a sworn oath, the clerk, the attorney, right? But it really shows how they're all in bed with one another, you know? Like think like you got the clerks defending the money for the court, and then you got the fucking crooked attorneys defending the judges, and it's just this big circle jerk, right? And coach's shit is just like exposing it all, right? It's basically what it does. But what he describes as getting to the why, and it takes a while to understand that. You have to see it. Once you start to read it, you start to understand his stuff. Then you start to get it. It takes a while. It's not overnight, but once you really start to understand why, that's what you're focusing. Not the what, because that's what these clerks, I knew right off the bat. They wanted to jump on the what, and I knew. So like, especially the one in Northampton. She's like, let's go back to the what. What you know what I mean? Let's get off the judge. Like and that's really what they excel at. That's how they get you away from your rights and stuff like that. Because they know if you're arguing the what, it gets you more like Coach is saying, it gets you into the arguing stage, right? Which you don't want to do. You don't want to do with these I don't call them psychos, but these people that are so uptight and they don't have a clue and they're nervous wrecks, right? You don't want to get into that with them. You just want to hit them with the why. Because when you hit them with the why, it makes it so it levels up the playing field. More than that, right? It puts you on the top for a change. So you're looking down at them now, saying, this is what, you know. So it's a little bit more like he says, to show their share of liability. It's more like they're the ones that are liable here. You're putting them in the liable spot. You're taking your liability that they've unnaturally and unlawfully put on you, and you're saying, well, here's the real story. Here's the real tale of the tape. The liability jumps on your side of the tracks, mofo. Your side of the tracks. And that's what Coach Neighbors excels at, and the beauty of it is, like, you don't have to do a lot of, like, he's got to, once you understand the package, you just see what applies to you, whatever, and use that, right? And then, you know, roll the dice. I just got to get good at I think once I get it past the clerks, I'm in. But the other thing is, you got to pay for they want you. The other bad thing is they're paying. You shouldn't have to fucking pay for this shit. Your rights are being violated. That's the one thing that, but again, you want it through the front door and get things met, and you're in a bad situation, you do what you got to do. But the easiest way to do it is if you have the documentation and you're able to just fucking throw it out their way. That's part of the battle right there, and that's why you got to go find your package, right? What applies to you? Anyways, that's all I got. I don't have 2 minutes. I'm going way over my limit. Like I said, I did a video before. I don't think YouTube will allow anybody to see it. I don't have a good rapport with YouTube, but maybe I can slip one through here. But like Coach Neighbors, you cannot go wrong. You cannot go wrong. Forget the lawyer stuff. You know what I mean? Don't bother paying a lot of money for the lawyer. Grab something, right, that looks like it's going to apply to your situation and run with that. And then, you get nervous or whatever, maybe hit him up from time to time, see what he's got to say. He probably is not going to enjoy it, but that's what I would do. Go with Coach, man. That's it. So I give Coach a A+, 100%. I'm very satisfied with the coach. He let me in for free last night because he knew I had a situation, and he's been really cool with me, and I like that because, like I said, at least talking to someone like Coach gives you hope. Where you talk with these a lot of hope, where you talk to a lawyer and you already feel like you're getting punched in the face. The first thing you do when you're talking to a lawyer, you already feel like he's going below the belt. It's like, dude, fuck you, buddy. You know what I mean? At least with Coach, he's already like, dude, this is he's already got a game plan. Lawyers don't have a game plan. They're already ready to fucking throw you in the eye of the storm and watch you go down with your shit. Whereas at least Coach's like, look, we got a game plan. We already know it. We're going to do it. We're going to execute it. Fuck yeah. Go with Coach, man. Go with him. So much appreciation. I was very happy that Coach let me in last night. I learned a lot. I think I'm going to get the $40 package, I think. It probably or might be raised now. I don't know. But whatever the case is, I'm very satisfied with Coach. I'm happy with how he's been treating me, and I'm so glad that I found him. I hope other people find him as well and invest in his stuff because it's worth it. Okay, much love, peace, and appreciation. Until next time, Coach, you are fucking awesome, man. I love you. Have a great day.